Hello again, friends. Pat Martins from Faith Lutheran Church in Jefferson City, Missouri, here for Man on a Mission. We just spent a good solid month looking at dangerous prayers, and it's my prayer that it helped you look at your own prayer life and how you can deepen your relationship with God by having Him search you, break you, and ultimately send you into the mission field. I also wanted to remind you about the online devotion through YouVersion that I have invited you to be a part of on dangerous prayers. It's not too late to join in and catch up with us. I've got a lot more on prayer in future videos, but before I do that, I came across a few interesting verses in the book of Job that I wanted to share and elaborate on for this week's message. In this time of the pandemic, these verses from Job 23, verses 8 and 9, got me doing some thinking. If I go east, he isn't there. If I go west, I can't find him. If I go northward, where he is at work, I can't observe him. If I turn southward, I can't see him. You know, during these crazy times we've been living the last year or so, do you sometimes have that feeling that God is not out there? It's easy to think, God, where are you? Why are you allowing this virus or other things going on out there to have its way with this world? And then it kind of hit me, well, God has a purpose for everything, even something like a deadly and contagious virus. Though we may not understand the purpose, the heavenly drama behind the scenes is happening, and it is all for the good, based on God's perfect will. We may have even lost loved ones to the virus. And how is that part of God's goodness? Don't know how, but it is. And we just have to trust God with that. As I reflect back on the events of this past year, I can't help but think how big of an opportunity the church community as a whole here on earth has missed. Instead of cowering to the virus and locking ourselves down, maybe God really wanted us to be getting out there and letting our light shine in new and amazing ways to bring glory to Him. Can you imagine the impact the church could have had if we had been much more innovative and committed to reaching out within the community instead of, well, really doing nothing except hiding out? Typical disciple action, I guess, right? They were good at that, and we're no different. Oh, we figured out a new way of outreach for conducting our church service through social media, and that also has led to non-members viewing our service even. And I think that is a good thing that came out of all this mess, a new way to do outreach in the digital world. It probably should have happened before the pandemic. That technology has been out there for years and we just never took advantage of it. And I'm sure there were some churches out there that managed to come up with some new ministry ideas, but when you get down to it, the church did not seem to have much impact out there. For many members, they're still trying to figure out how to put enough trust in God to even go to church, let alone be an influence out in the community and beyond. Can you imagine the impact a fully committed church serving the poor, the weak, the marginalized, those who were affected by the virus and needing a helping hand and support, just what kind of statement we could make? An overwhelming response by the Christian community could be so influential that the world in general could not help but take notice in a good way. That's the kind of revolutionary action I think Jesus wanted to see from us. You know, some in our congregation, I'm afraid, have even gotten used to the coziness of just listening to church online at home. But is that really church? It might be a way to listen to church 1 hour a week, but it's not being the church. We've got to get back to being, or should I really say, start being the church the way Jesus wants us to be it. And that goes way beyond just getting the courage just to come back into the building for worship one Sunday morning a week. We've got to figure out how to dedicate ourselves into becoming that man or woman on a mission.